Let me start off this video by stating something that I state fair often, but again, you determine your reality. So if what I'm saying doesn't vibe with you or you don't like it, you know, go find something else to do. Cuz this channel is about growth. It's not about finding how to get enough resources that you can plug yourself into the matrix and have sustenance living for the rest of your life and maybe live in bliss. Now, there's certain growth that you can have there too, but ultimately, it's about going higher than that. And um, a lot of people are stuck in this resource problem, right? You need resources to step to the next level, but just understand that we're going above just the resources. That's what this is about. And today I want to talk about distractions. So what distractions are present that are causing people to not be aware of this higher place that you can get to, or be distracted into the left-right paradigm, or just simply not focus on anything that matters. So this morning we found out that almost 1 million people lost their jobs in the last week and applied for first-time unemployment claims. Okay, so what is that seems newsworthy to me. Not many people that I know care about that kind of stuff, but um, the market goes up anyways, right? And this is a dynamic that I don't think anybody really talks about enough. I mean, everybody that I follow talks about this dynamic, but it's something that I think needs to be spread further, because when you think about it at face value, say if you go to finance class in high school or college, they teach you these formulas about how stocks go up. They say, oh, you have a growth rate of the company, and the dividend growth rate and blah, blah, blah. You do these formulas, and then you find the stock price should be 100 in this number of years, and you're going to earn this return, and your retirement, blah, 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 blah. That has zero fucking relevance. Zero. Right now. Not in this environment. It has no relevance in this environment, because stocks don't go up because of the real economy anymore, right? Stocks go up because of the Federal Reserve, of the wealth transfer that they want to encourage to take money from the middle class through suppressed interest rates and transfer it to the upper class, which I would like to be a part of. Doesn't mean I want to act like them. That's the opposite of what I want to do. But understanding that you have no choice, you have no power to change this paradigm that we're in. Well, you do have power to change it, but you got to work within it, in order to make real change. You can't do things like go into politics, okay? Politics is not going to save you. I think most of us can realize what a shit show politics is. Under the last 4 years of Trump, it's been a shit show. It's going to be a shit show the next 4 years under Biden. I can guarantee you that. And the middle class will be screwed over for the next 4 years. Mark my words. Okay? People will be screwed over by the government, by the central banks, by design, all the while promoting these bullshit schemes that the government is actually going to save you. So, why do people think that the government can do things? Well, it again goes back to, I think, the way we were brought up in school. You're taught that there's 3 branches of government. They balance each other out, and you get stuff done by a majority. But the situation we have is not one where the people elect a president. The president is selected. And to give this, put a perspective on this last election, and Trump was selected as well. That's a whole nother thing. But, we had the whole fraud going on. And I think it was pretty obvious, if you take certain things into account and certain evidence, that there was fraud that went on. But that was just a game that was played. Trump was never going to win this election. And I stated that, both I think on my Twitter and to many of my friends. It doesn't matter if they rig it. They choose the presidents no matter what. All the politicians are bought and paid for. And believe me, if you step into politics trying to make, some sort of real change, not only are you powerless because it's such a big monster that, it's like a drop of water in the ocean. You're trying to make it fresh water. You drop one drop of fresh water into salt water. It's not going to do anything. It's not going to change anything, right? You got to understand that power doesn't come from these elections. When you have the kind of power that a central bank has, paying off politicians and controlling them through various different mechanisms, some you probably wouldn't even believe, so I won't even mention them, but controlling them, implanting them, funding them. Take lobbyists, for example, right? Let's say you're a central bank and you want to get a certain politician, or you're anything. You want to get a certain politician into power that you can control. First thing that I would do is I would probably take somebody that has a negative background. There was I think it was a guy from New York, Andrew, I forget his name, but they had dirt on him where, he was doing meth or something, and having sex with a gay stripper, while he was married or something. That's the kind of dirt that they'll have on you, or whoever they select, and then they'll fund your campaign, right? They'll outfund whoever the fuck it is, and they can rig the election. So these are just a few of the things they can do to create it, right? And then once that person gets in, you can use blackmail, you can just bribe them, you can do so many different things. And especially when you control the financial system, you make the rules. Remember, banks don't play by our rules. They pay billion-dollar fines. No one goes to jail when they rig markets. You can look that up, JP Morgan. When you have that kind of system in place, you control pretty much everything down to the last politician. And people are like, well, how does this happen? Blah, blah, blah. Look, it's been going on for over 100 years, probably more. Okay, so you think you're smarter than these organizations? You are nothing compared to them in terms of the material world. Now, on a spiritual level, that's a different thing. But, raw power, money is power. They control, pretty much everything. So what does that mean? You need to create change on your personal level. You need to forget about the politics. It's all a game. We have this $2,000 check. Do you really understand what $2,000 means? Okay, it means maybe you can pay your rent, maybe you can buy food. But is it going to change people's minds? No, it's going to warp their minds in a different way to become more and more dependent on the government and these entities supplying them funds so they can take further control of your life. True sovereignty is about, having money, but $2,000, unless you take that $2,000 and say, I'm going to, grow this. I'm going to compound this. I'm going to multiply it. I'm going to start, working in a different way. And I understand most people don't have the option, right? Most people are screwed. That is a hard truth to come to. But, given the control they have, I'm not saying if I had total control over everything in the world, if I was a dictator, I believe I could make a much better situation for most people. But the fact is that the current way things are, you need to work within it yourself. You don't have the power to change it on that grand of a scale. Over time, believe me, we're going to win. We're going to make so much money. We're going to gain control. These are things I'm guaranteeing to you right now. Okay? How long it's going to take? 7 years is my guess. Why 7 years? I don't fucking know. Just a feeling I got. I want you to have that feeling as well. Say, I'm going to do this. I know that this is going to happen. Because when you have that I know it's going to happen in your mind, it stops becoming you have to conceive of something before you can put it into practice. It doesn't matter how far out it is. If you don't let yourself imagine it, how do you expect it to come into manifestation? Luck? Some people walk into luck, like the lottery, and what happens to them? They go fucking kill themselves or something. Most people end up worse off, right? Unless they really know what to do with the money and know what money means. Because the way power multiplies, right? If you have a lot of power and you don't know how to use it, you're going to destroy yourself faster than somebody with no power who doesn't know how to use it because they can't do anything with it. Okay, and so that kind of goes back to the $2,000 where you just become more dependent. You don't know what to do. All you know is how to pay your bills and how to get to the next paycheck. You need to build up a system for yourself. that works, and stop living in these start becoming aware of the way that the world is backwards, politically, emotionally, spiritually, physically. Every dimension is backwards in a lot of senses right now. People are not conscious of reality. That's how I see it. Maybe it's not how you see it. I'd love to hear, your comments on that. So, just an overview. We have these beliefs. Government's a show rather than useful. That's what I believe, right? It's not useful. It's the opposite of useful. Markets follow traditional logic rather than and are based on real growth. That's wrong. Markets do not follow traditional logic of the way companies grow. And you see a lot of these a lot of people who become geniuses in the market in the last year, myself kind of included, you could say. Of course, I follow Greg Mannarino. He's the best. Follow him for specific trades and everything. I'm overviewing. I'm trying to touch on a little bit of different bases than he touches on. We got to bounce off each other in this world. Because if you understand that markets aren't really based on these real factors, you stop saying, oh, I'm going to buy this company because it's going to grow. You start saying, I'm going to buy this because the Fed's going to keep expanding debt. Because when that day comes where they choose to collapse the system, your whole paradigm will be broken, saying, why is my stock going down? I have a company that is supposed to be good. Well, you might have a company that's supposed to be good, but the real value of that stock is probably much lower than it is today. But people will continue to pay higher multiples for stocks in this next expansion cycle that's going to increase magnitudes you can't really imagine in the coming years. Another belief, many bad things happen not due to coordination, but a lack of coordination and an overgrowth of stupidity. People think, oh, it's just, it's just, the swamp you have. No, it's coordinated. Right? The people in power know that this is the game you're going to be playing. It's not just, people are stupid and that's why the world's fucked. People in power are smart, making you think that everybody's stupid so that they can gain power over you and not make you, or they don't allow you to understand that you really can take power over what you're doing and over your life. So I think that's enough for now. Just to overview a couple assets because I want to start doing a little bit more specific. We have Bitcoin, which I like a lot. It's bounced off of its low at like 30,800 right now. I think it's back over 32,000. I expect Bitcoin to go much higher, but does that mean it couldn't break below 30,000 and go down to 20? I would doubt it. Maybe it'd go down to 25. Maybe we'd break below. But I did buy Bitcoin at 32,000 on this last leg. Gold, silver, some of my favorite assets. I think they're going higher. Not a bad buying place right now. And stocks, of course, are going higher. I mean, there's just no way around it. That's the world we live in. The economy is going to continue to collapse. People are going to continue to suffer, and the stock market's going to go higher. Now, we need a pullback in the market. It's gotten ridiculous, but that's where we're at. So, that's good. Have a good day. Like, subscribe, share. Thank you very much.